And now, live from Pod Cabin in Burbank, California, it's the Allison Rosen is Your New Best Friend show. Tonight, Allison welcomes a guest. He's a writer and comedian who wants you to know that even if he's not dating you, he'll still happily eat your grunt. It's Jordan Morris. And she's an actress and musician, and one half of Garfunkel and Oates. Specifically, I believe she's Land Oates. It's Riki Lindhome. Tone Zone, the bad boy podcasting, is here to show you how to give swirlies to huge nerds Ira Glass and Michael Barbaro. I'm her husband, Daniel, saying hop on board the Love Bus. Say hello to your best friend, Allison Rosen.
Hello, my little pierogies. Welcome to another exciting episode of Allison Rosen is Your New Best Friend. That particular carbohydrate was sent in on Patreon by Amber Lewis. And I thought to myself, surely I've called them pierogies in all the years I've been doing this. But then I checked the Excel spreadsheet that Carb Czar Jess Flowers sends me weekly. Now, she took over the post, and we invented it and she assumed it in 2019. So it's quite possible. I feel like it was before that, though. Maybe the one I looked at only went back to 2019. I'm pretty sure she's been doing it for longer than that. Anyway, I saw no sign of pierogies. I can't be sure we didn't do a pierogies before. But anyway, I am on Patreon. Weekly bonus episodes. Zoom parties. There's a level where you can text me and I'll text you back. You can submit carbohydrates. I will call you them. You can submit questions for the guests. It's so much fun. And if you sign up for a year, you get 2 months free. So again, that's patreon.com/Allison Rosen.
That's a good deal.
I am overjoyed to introduce my guest. This is a very special show. But first, now, Daniel, I know that I came down on you kind of hard for talking too much at the top when I'm trying to introduce people last time. However, you have permission to speak. What's Land Oates?
It's just a stupid joke. I divided the words Garfunkel and Oates literally in half.
Like Kate's Garfunky and I'm Land Oates.
Yes.
Yeah, I liked it.
Got it.
Thank you.
I have some questions about
I just
my
wanted
intro.
to be silly.
Okay. It's reminding.
I remember eating grunts. We talked about what Martha Stewart's recipes for grunts, and you were
Yeah,
like, "Oh, those
summerberry
sound so
grunt.
delicious. I want to eat grunts."
Oh, okay.
What is a grunt?
It's like a fruit pastry thing, right?
It also harkens back to the carbohydrate at the top of the show. Someone recommended a summerberry grunt.
Oh.
And Martha Stewart makes this particular item. And this I think led into our cobbler discussion.
Right.
We're very divided on cobbler. But I believe it's similar to a cobbler. And that's all I remember from that. Even though we had like an entire show and a half dedicated. My show is not just about carbs, but it comes up a lot. We had like an entire show dedicated to it, and I'm already forgetting. All right. I would like to say hello to my guest, Jordan Morris. Welcome back.
Hi, it's great to be here. Great to be here in person.
I know.
Fun.
I know I got to see your face a lot during the last 15 months, but I didn't get to see that hot bod.
Oh, stop. This old thing? I just threw this on.
Looks like someone got a haircut.
Not a recent haircut. I've had my one like post-vax, haircut, and I have not had one since. But I'm recently showered, so maybe it's a little more condensed than you're used to seeing.
Perhaps.
So, yeah.
Perhaps your hair is more condensed. Yeah. It's more concise.
More concise. Yes.
It's more the efficacy of your hair.
It's efficient hair.
That really is, because I'm used to seeing more surface area of this hair.
Right. Yeah, this is kind of a brutalist German hairdo that I have.
Yes.
It's all about efficiency.
It's minimal.
Tasteful.
Timeless.
Exactly. Classic. Less is more.
Yeah. Other people are overcompensating with their hair that just hangs out all over the place.
Yeah,
your hair is
exactly.
Your hair is like the Joe Rogan of hair.
Maybe I'm not.
It's taut.
It's taut. Oh, yes.
It's compact. but there's so much going on inside it.
Right. Yes. I thought you meant because my hair is willing to entertain conspiracy theorist ideas
I mean,
in the name of
your hair's
being inquisitive.
I think your hair's open to a lot of stuff.
Your hair's a huge fan of Ben Shapiro.
Right. My hair will smoke a little DMT with Elon Musk, given the chance. What's DMT? I know that as a poll, but I don't think I actually know what it is.
I don't know.
It's it's a drug that you can it releases in your brain when you die or something like that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Am I thinking of the?
I think it's a hallucin. It's like a very intense hallucinogen.
Yeah, it says it's a hallucinogenic tryptamine drug.
But I think they theorize that your brain releases it, and so
you get it from dead people's brains. I
no,
doubt that.
Wow.
Very
Yeah,
much.
you try to you bring them to the point of death, and then you squeeze. That's what we do to kids in the Democratic Party.
Yes, I like to do it with babies.
Right. In the basement of pizza places, we all get together and
So that when people say, this is the theory, that when people have that, like, I died and I had this whole vision, that it's actually a DMT trip.
You said it's tryptamine?
Yeah, I don't.
Is that
know.
like tryptophan?
I know that's
Because that would make sense because it makes you like sort of sleepy or something.
Right.
I don't know.
That would be great if after you had a big Thanksgiving meal, you started to like hallucinate and trip out.
Right.
Watch the Thanksgiving Day parade and all the balloons are talking to you.
I could not be more excited to welcome back to the show Riki Lindhome. Hello.
Hi. Hello. Nice to see you.
So it's been years since
Yes.
you've been on the show, but you and Kate were the musical guest at my the musical guest and the guest, in addition to my friend Dustin Goot, at my very first live Allison Rose is Your New Best Friend.
Oh, that's right. Was that at UCB?
Yes.
I can't believe I remember that.
That was like 2012, I think.
Was it? I'm
13?
I feel like every 3 years my brain just wipes, and but I remember that was really fun.
That's right. Before we started the show, we were talking about how our memories are not that good anymore, and then it was almost cruel the way I did that. I'm like, remember this thing that there's no way you remember?
No, but then I did. I had someone apologize to me a couple years ago for something that they said about me, and I couldn't remember what the thing was. Wow. He called me and he's like, I was in a really bad place. And I was like, he said something about me. I don't remember what it was. And I didn't remember that it happened. And I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. Thanks for letting me, we're good.
So the apology was weirdly more hurtful.
Yeah,
Because it could be anything.
It was totally forgotten. And then I called Kate and I was like, do you remember what this person said? She was like, no. I'm like, me neither. But,
wow.
But we made up. She's like, okay.
Do you?
Water under the bridge.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's magnanimous of you.
Thank
Do
you.
you suspect that it was something you knew about at the time, or it was just something that he felt really bad about and was kind of like making a thing of?
No, I had a vague inkling of it, but I was like, I don't think about you at all. So I didn't, you know what I mean? If you're like someone you never think about says something like mildly offensive, you're like, okay, what's for lunch? Like you don't think about it
Are
ever
you kidding?
again.
Allison would dine out on that for weeks.
Really?
I would probably.
The less she knows you, the longer the time is that she'll
Not
be obsessed
always.
about it.
Really?
Not
do you
always.
obsess on mean comments and
Yeah,
stuff?
sometimes.
I'm crazy?
I've gotten better. I've gotten a lot better. But what was the one? Oh my God. This came up on the show. Someone left a comment that said, and it's like someone who loves my show, but feels
Not
like
anymore.
I would loved my show, but feels like I would benefit from a more sleek and modern YouTube appearance because she worries that like the cheesy, cringy aspects could be pushing away potential future audience. And I'm like, what does that mean? And I just went nuts trying to figure out what
You
it
took
meant.
that seriously?
Yeah, but
That is so,
Thank you.
first of all, that's so mild. Like that's
no, I know that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like if someone had said something hurtful, I think that one would have rolled off more than this, which is like this person actually likes my show.
They're just giving you constructive criticism
Yeah,
that makes no
right.
sense to you.
Well, and because it's like sort of new that I'm putting the Monday shows on YouTube, and I myself am trying to figure out what I'm doing. I don't know. I remember going back to this the one-on-one show that you were on, Riki, before the live show. You were talking about, didn't like someone on YouTube call you and Kate sandwich makers or something? There was some whole thing about sandwiches.
I don't remember that, but I remember when I stopped reading the comments,
Yes.
which was around 2008 or 9.
By the way, now that we're here, I'm sorry. I just got to do this.
What?
I'm sorry I called you a sandwich maker. I'm really sorry.
You know what? I
was in a
totally forgive you. I remember
was in
that.
a weird place.
Yeah, that's. You know what? We're good.
Doing a lot of DMT.
Did you have a near-death experience
What?
to do the DMT?
I did, yes. I was almost in a car accident, and to calm myself, I started watching YouTube videos.
Right.
And then
Makes perfect sense. Yeah, you and Kate had like hosted someone's show, and the reaction was really.
I remember that we hosted someone's show and we got like the most mean comments that we've ever gotten. We got like 100,000 thumbs down or something. But like after that, we're like,
pretty good.
oh, okay. I remember the comment that I do remember is that someone like had detailed ways that they wanted to murder us and like
wow.
bury them in their yard, and they had a whole plan.
What?
And I was like, ooh, I should stop reading these. And then
Yeah.
I
And that was
I
on
did.
YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh my
Then
God.
I did. That was the end. I was like, oh, I think I'm good with comments.
Yeah, that's admirable.
Yeah.
I need to do that.
But if they detail the way they're going to murder, isn't that is against the law? Like
Is it?
that can get you. Yeah, I
But their names are always like Leaf Blower 54. Like, I don't know who that is. You know what I mean?
right. Like
Oh,
you can't track
that's
them.
definitely my across the street neighbor.
we got him. We found him. Finally.
I do know that like if someone is threatening you and you go to the police, they won't do anything unless it's a specific threat. Because I've had that. And I called them and I'm like, this person is threatening me. And they're like, did they tell you what they're going to do? And they're like, no. He didn't specifically say I'm going to do this. And then he's like, okay, well, man, I mean, you know.
So you're allowed to do a vague threat, but you can't lay out a
I
plan.
mean, maybe he was just lazy and didn't want to handle the situation.
Yeah, he might have been making that up.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. Right. But
See, and I would overthink whether he was making it up or not. Would you just let it go, Ricky?
I
you
remember
take it at
being
face value?
weirded out by it, and then I was like, oh, I just should not look at these anymore.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
I've done that multiple times. I've been like, I'm not going to look anymore. And then eventually I come back, and then I'm always sort of going back and forth. Jordan, I feel like I stepped on something you were going to say.
Oh, no. I actually had a less sinister comment lobbed at me recently, but that has stuck in my craw nonetheless. I thought maybe I could unpack it here.
Yes, please.
So,
Wait, hang on one quick
yes,
second.
please.
I would like to say,
I'll chamber it.
I would like to say, by the way, we had a whole discussion about the specific phrase stuck in your craw last time too, regarding comments. I would like to say hello and welcome to the show, producer and bad boy, Tony Thaxton.
Hello. Thank you. Real quick before we get into that story, I need to get something off my chest.
All right.
It's not, and you ever have those things where you're like, this isn't exciting at all, but I need to share this with someone.
Have you heard my show? Have you heard the show? That's the whole show.
we built a life on that.
I've been talking about millipedes nonstop for 8 months.
But I feel like this is like a different type of thing, but it was one of those things where it's like, why was this exciting to me? But it was. Let me tell you, I was driving my car and I remember I was like, oh yeah, I need an oil change soon. And I looked at my odometer. I see the mileage. And I was like, what does my sticker say? It was the exact mileage when I looked at it.
Oh my God! Give yourself a celebratory
That's wild.
something or other.
Okay.
How could you feel it that you need an oil change?
I knew it
He's
was coming
sensitive.
up.
He's
I knew it was
sensitive to
coming.
oil
He's
changes.
just-
He's got that like.
He's connected to his
Yeah.
car in the way
Yeah.
that the characters from Avatar are connected to those dragons.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
They just kind of feel each other.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Do you feel closer to your car now after that? A little bit.
A little bit. Yeah, it feels good. And I'm like 2 months from finally paying it off too. Like,
Oh wow.
Oh my
things,
God,
things with me and my car. Never
Tony,
been better.
you're experiencing Farfignugan.
I don't remember what that is.
Does anyone here know what that
I
is?
remember
From
that as like a
Volkswagen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it was-
it's supposed to mean like pure driving pleasure.
I think it's the umami of car work.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that it's made up. No one else agrees with me that umami is made up.
No, umami's real.
I don't know.
Do you want to know something crazy?
Yes.
I learned this because I wrote songs for this kids TV show
Oh, that
about
mochi
food.
and waffles, right?
and mochi.
yeah.
Umami is one of the taste buds. People don't know. It's salty, sweet, sour,
bitter,
So
and
then-
umami.
Like it actually, you
It's
can
one of
see
the
it
5.
under a microscope.
Yep, it's one of
So
the 5.
did before they kind of realized umami, did they just not was there an area of the taste bud map that they gave to salt or something?
I didn't look into it that far, but I did write a whole song about it.
Yeah. Well, that's like
It's
being an
called
expert.
umami. Yeah.
Phil, because I had this conversation with Phil Rosenthal, not to drop a name, go listen to that episode, but because I was like, I just don't think it's real. I feel like it's made up. How is it different
He's
than
an
salty?
umami denier.
No, he's an umami truther. And he was like, imagine something that's savory but not salty. That's what umami is.
Imagine like the juiciest Wagyu steak. Like what is?
Oh
that?
yeah, okay,
What is, like
Sure.
that's
right.
Right.
What is that? Yeah, it's that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Sure.
I believe that umami is real and the Earth is flat. That Stanley Kubrick
tracks.
faked the moon landing. These are my beliefs.
Okay, Jordan, tell us what
Yes.
you were going to tell us.
R.E. my craw.
Yeah.
So I went on a very fun podcast not too long ago. You'll be shocked to know that I appeared on a podcast.
It's impossible to book you.
Yes, I know. I'm a hard get.
There's so few, too.
You have to
get on.
ask once. I went on this podcast called Geek's Guide to the Galaxy. It's a Wired magazine thing.
cool.
I had a very fun chat with them. But the only reaction to it I got was, in my email. So I have a fun website, jordanmorse.net. Head over there if you want to see a photo of me.
Hell yeah.
The Betsy Sodaro drops are so good.
And so there's a comment page, and the comment, if you do not a comment page, a connect page. And if you send a little email to it, it goes right to my email. You fill out the little comment box, goes to my email. So I see an email with the subject line, vocal crutch.
Oh,
Vocal
boy.
crutch. And you can kind of tell it's been sent from that form on the contact page. And it was just like, I heard you on the Wired podcast and just wanted to say that I feel like you use and entirely too much. Do yourself a favor and consider your words and take pride in what you're saying, and you'll come across a lot better.
Oh, God.
And I have been mad about that for a week and a half.
As you should be. Alex,
I get vocal fry.
Well,
comments.
but also I think there are people who they get very obsessed about certain grammatical things, and then they have to let you know about it. And every week there was a woman that every week was
Yes.
on you about
I blocked
saying
her. Yeah,
But what
because
were you saying?
I would say no, yeah, when I was on the Adam Carolla show, because he would say, or did I say yeah, no? Oh, let me see. It would be like
I do no a lot. I'm a big
people do that.
no.
yeah, no. I would say yeah, no, because he was saying something like it doesn't exist or whatever. The Earth being
Sure.
round. It's fake. And then I would say yeah, no, or no, yeah, whatever. It was like agreeing and then
Agreeing with
saying
the negative.
Yes, yeah, and that bothered
hear
her.
you.
Yes,
and I-
budding.
But I almost wonder if there's like some sort of spectrumy sort of thing where because there's like I've noticed with those people that they're just that's all they think about. It's like they're very obsessed with like you need to know that you say too much
Yeah.
or they're just very hyper focused on that thing, and it just seems like it's not like
Because you could pick apart anyone like that.
yeah.
If you listen to anyone, you could send them an email like that, I think.
Your inability to just hear it and let it wash over you.
You know which
Right.
one I can't let wash over me is the people who change T's to D's, like button or Manhattan. People
Yeah.
say like Manhattan. I'm like, you're doing that.
Yes.
You're just doing that. And I feel like right? I feel like people like pretend they can't hear it and they're doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
With those ones, and maybe they're not.
When I was a kid, I did that. I had a duck named Cotton.
You called them cotton.
Cotton.
Wait, what
And
region?
midden.
What region does that the most to the D's?
I don't
to
know.
D's? Is it
Children.
New York?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a regional thing. I thought it was just a
Is it
weirdo
just
thing.
an affected thing?
Yeah. Yeah. Who does that? I don't know.
I've
You know
definitely
what-
heard it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then how do you feel about people that overpronounce their T's? Because there's also
Manhattan.
people
Yeah, that's
like,
also bad.
or like
Yeah.
button. Or they just skip over a button.
Button. I guess
I don't
that's
know
what
what
I
that
do.
is.
I kind of skip
No,
over it.
you
But
don't.
I guess I do. I go button. I kind of skip
Yeah.
over it. I just
That's not
don't do
normal
it.
to me.
I say button. I need to sew on my button,
I've heard that.
mother.
I saw a thing about how people in California don't say T's like in the word Sacramento. They go N-O, like E-N-N-O.
Sacramento.
Oh,
Doesn't
yeah.
doesn't everybody do that?
I don't know because I'm
Sacramento.
from Southwest.
A word that Daniel and I nearly came to blows over, amphitheater. So I say amphitheater, and he says amphitheater.
Oh, I say it your way.
Okay.
Yeah, I do too.
I would never say amphitheater.
Sorry.
amphitheater. Yeah.
Amphitheater.
Nope.
I mean, I could be wrong, but
I
Is there
think-
not a PH in there?
There is. And I think we looked it up, and the
probably
woman who
both.
does phonics on the computer was like, amphitheater.
Amphitheater.
Yeah, so I'm correct. You the what?
Hang on.
Amphitheater.
See?
You're right. Wow.
She sounds fun.
Yeah,
You know why I say it that way? You know why I say it? There's a high school.
I'll send you her info.
Yeah. Do you know her? She seems really cool.
So there's
but
a
she's
high
very
school in
chill.
Tucson that's Amphitheater High School, but everyone just calls it Amphi. So the F is really drilled in. I think
I would
that's why.
call it ampi.
Yeah. You know, one that's been driving me crazy for 6 months since we watched Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And I've learned, at first I thought it was like a New Jersey accent, but I've come to learn that it's a regional, a part of Utah accent, which is she would, instead of saying tequila, she'll pronounce it tequila.
Tequila.
Wait,
She
what?
sells tequila. And she
Wow.
goes, tequila. We're going to sell a tequila.
That
And I
seems
keep
like
in
an
my head-
affect to me.
It's
That
about-
seems like she thinks it's funny to do it
Well,
like that.
what's now gotten in my head, it's like one of the, sometimes you just get things just roaming in your head, is Tilla Tequila.
Oh, yes.
Tequila?
Do you watch Real Housewives of New York?
No, but I probably
Well,
should.
Luann's been on there since season 1, and there's another character, Sonia, and she's called her Sonia for a decade.
Sonia?
She's like Sonia. Yeah, she doesn't call her Sonia.
Does Sonya mind?
I don't think so. But it's
I
just
think-
really weird.
Yeah.
I think there is a like reality TV like pronunciation style. I feel like every time I watch any reality TV, I hear 5 different pronunciations of the word vulnerable. So there's a lot of vulnerable and vulnerable, like, and it is all people on reality, a certain kind of reality TV. All they talk about is being vulnerable, who's not being vulnerable, why you should be more vulnerable, who they want to be more vulnerable. And just over the course of that, I mean, especially like your bachelors, like it's
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
about
Yeah,
he's
there's
being
definitely-
vulnerable. He's not being vulnerable. And I,
You know what it is?
Yeah. And I want to write somebody a fucking email from their website.
It's the modern day mid-Atlantic accent. It's, you know what I mean? It's like a made up sort of thing to sound a particular way that's not real.
It's like they did in the movies.
Yeah.
And
Teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings, right?
Yeah.
I work at a bank. Yeah, sure. That's right. A bank. We
because
all work at banks.
did you guys get sucked into the Nexium? Did you get sucked into the Nexium cult programming? And I don't mean were you in the cult?
I did watch that one. I watched the HBO one and I listened to the podcast.
Okay, yes. There's also one on Stars with
I don't
Catherine.
have stars. I heard that's better.
It was really
It's
good.
pretty, I mean, it's a little slow, but
They
it's,
were
it's,
all.
it's
I got
interesting.
super into.
Less
What's her
filler.
butt just got sentenced
I know.
to a few years in
She got
prison.
off light.
Yeah. Okay.
Considering.
So on my Patreon level, where people text me,
Patreon.
one of my texters is having a philosophical debate with her husband because
With her own husband, not the
Yes.
husband of,
not Keith Raniere.
not Keith Raniere.
She's not having a debate while playing volleyball at 3 a.m. And she asked us to discuss it. So I'm glad this is coming up. She feels like 3 years for Allison Mack is super light. And he feels like, but why do you not regard Allison Mack as a victim as well? And I remember thinking that, like, why do I not have much compassion for Allison Mack? Why do I see her as like, you know, a manipulator? Because she was being manipulated too, but I just don't have a lot of sympathy for her.
Because there's no defense, like, as far as I know, being brainwashed or whatever you want to call it, like whatever it is that happens to you when you get indoctrinated into a cult isn't a defense for crime. You
Yeah,
can't.
she got a light sentence because she turned.
Oh, she did.
Yeah, she turned on Keith Raniere. That's why she got the sentence. Yeah, like she probably would have gotten much more, but she's
Yeah.
the reason he got so many years.
Oh,
So,
well, that sounds fun.
yeah. But I always wondered that about those HBO people. I was like, you guys did this too, right?
You mean the like Bonnie
Yeah.
and
I was like, you guys
Mark.
did this, right? You branded people.
Yeah.
You did this.
Yeah.
So where was the line where you were like, now I'm making a documentary, I'm a victim.
Right.
What is that line?
Right.
Yeah, that it is fuzzy.
I follow Sarah Edmondson, who has a podcast with well, she's one of the people,
Right.
with her husband Nippy,
Right.
and when I look at the photos and like like they seem to have a very normal life, and I'm like, but she is a brand. She was branded. Like, what's going on?
The blonde woman who is in Star Wars is going to be in the Obi-Wan series.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it like, where is that line?
Right.
Like, how much crime could you have done before I don't know.
Before you decide to go on the other side and make a documentary about it. Yeah.
Well, what were her crimes? I mean, so there was the branding.
Allison Mack. I think sex trafficking, right?
Oh, yeah, it was like getting people to have sex with
Right.
Keith.
So it was, I'm not asking like, oh, tell me the thing that was actually a crime. No, I mean like I forgot.
What were the charges?
I forget. So she was like,
I don't actually know.
there was like slave. She was like making people slaves.
She ran DOS, which was that thing
secret
where they were all like slaves and grand slaves and things like that, and they would have, they would send a text and they would have to like all write back okay, and they had to, limit their calories and
you
then
think you'd
had
be
to have
more
sex with
savvy
Keith.
than to use that word. Just call it anything else.
I know.
Call it like a tulip. You're my tulip. Like you didn't
Right.
have to use that word. Now you're going to jail.
I think they got off on what it was.
Semantics.
Though. They wanted to call it the thing it was because that was part of the thrill. You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
Yeah, a couple years. So she turned on Keith.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Whoever talks first gets the best deal. Isn't that how it goes?
Seems like
That's
it.
what Law and Order tells us.
Yeah.
I have learned a lot from Law and Order.
So
as
have
well.
I.
Have they done a ripped from the headlines Law and Order about like a fake Nexium that
They
they call
have
like
to have.
Cultatron or something?
Oh, I'm
On
sure they've done
SVU.
a dozen of
Must
those.
have. Yeah.
And are you super into Law and Order?
Yeah.
Okay, so I.
Been on it, haven't you?
Oh yeah. I was on SVU.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, please tell us about this.
I was guilty. Spoiler alert. I did it.
What was
I
that
killed
episode?
someone.
How did that feel?
I killed my husband. He was in the tub, and I threw a hairdryer in. And I let my son take the blame for it at first, but then I came clean.
Why did you do it?
Because he was a bad guy. He was an abuser. So I killed him.
Did you like that kind of acting?
Yeah,
on Law
it
and
was
Order?
fun.
Was it fun?
It was really fun. It was cool. But it was like in June of 2020. So I did it in the middle of COVID.
Wow.
So it was pretty crazy. It was just very, truly like 6 feet, and people like had masks on in scenes half the time.
wow.
It was a whole different time.
Oh, because on those types of shows, they are roping COVID into the storyline, right?
Yes,
They're
the
like,
jury
"We
was
all wear
behind
masks."
plexiglass. It was-
Wow.
Yeah.
Verite.
Yeah.
Was Elliot on?
No, he
Maloney?
wasn't there yet.
Okay.
I
That's what I was going to
wish.
say. I got super into Law and Order SVU when I lived in New York. And it like became a wonderful addiction. I was like, I'm tired of trying to date people and leave my apartment. It was like a pre-pandemic, a mini pre-pandemic rehearsal. I'm just going to stay home and watch this show. I watch it all the time. And by the way, that's not even that unique, because I remember then finding an article that someone had written for Slate or Salon or something about how comforting the show is.
Yeah.
But then I kind of stopped watching. But then I heard that Christopher Maloney is coming back, and I love him and loved him with Olivia.
But it's like a spinoff, right?
Oh, is it?
It's like SVU cybercrime or something.
Yeah, there's one
Yes.
called Organized Crime that I was kind of curious about watching, and I think that's the return of Stabler.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm not a huge Law
I
and
need
Order
to get
head, but
into
I
that.
think Although cybercrime sounds better.
It does.
I do always love seeing how like
cybercrime.
yeah, how like sweaty Law and Order's internet stuff is when it's like teens are sexting on faceplace.com and it's like some like dumb made up social network anyway.
If I were chasing down a teen who was sexting on Faceplace, but like in real life,
right,
and I had to run after them, but I wanted to look fashionable at the same time, and I wanted to be able to take my shoes out of the box immediately, put them on, and not get blisters, Jordan and everyone else, do you have any idea what kind of shoes I would want to be wearing, even though I don't know that they're sanctioned by the force?
No, I'd love to hear.
Probably Rothy's. Rothy's.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, well, that's because you know what's up
That's right.
in footwear, Tony. In it's 2021. Nobody has time for uncomfortable shoes. That's where Rothy's comes in. What makes them so good? Their unique, seamless design is insanely comfortable the moment you put them on. It's crazy. You really can wear them right out of the box. They are so comfortable. They're so stylish. They're fully machine washable. They're made with sustainably made materials like plastic water bottles. And you'd think, well, that sounds crunchy. Not crunchy at all. Just like buttery soft, maybe a little more firm than buttery soft makes it sound. But I'm telling you, these are shoes unlike any other, unless the other ones that you're comparing them to are other Rothy's. Start summer off on the right foot with comfortable bestsellers like flats, loafers, and sneakers from Rothy's, with sandals in an array of colors, to shoes made for exploring or chasing down people, like we were saying. Their newest styles have you covered. Plus, their spacious washable bags are perfect for summer getaways. And also, fellas, Rothy's newly launched men's shoes are intentionally designed with an artisanal level of detail and created with nearly zero waste. To help you welcome summer in style, Rothy's is doing something special. That's right. They gave us the chance to share this super rare opportunity with our listeners for a limited time. Through August 1st, 2021, you can get $20 off your first purchase of $100 or more at rothys.com/Allison. That's ROTHYS.com/Allison. ROTHYS.com/Allison. Trust us, you don't want to miss this. Head to rothys.com/Allison to find your new favorites today. And then also, while you're just running down the street chasing after someone, or let's say working out or just hanging out, you're going to want to be listening to something, be it music, an audiobook, maybe the Hamilton soundtrack, or cast album, or In the Heights, which I know Hamilton at least was Ricky's favorite. I don't know if it's still your favorite.
It still is.
It's still your favorite. Whether it's for work or play, a lot of us are going to be on the move again this summer. So my advice to you, take your Raycons with you. A pair of Raycon wireless earbuds in your ear can make all the difference. You get crisp, powerful beats at half the price of other premium audio brands. Raycons look great and feel even better. They come in a range of cool colors and with customizable gel tips included for a comfortable in-ear fit. They come with a bunch of different tips and you just figure out the one that fits best. They're super comfortable. They don't fall out of your ears. And Raycons are built to go wherever you go with quick and seamless Bluetooth pairing and a compact charging case. Listen up. Raycon's offering 15% off all their products for my listeners, and here's what you've got to do to get it. Go to buyraycon.com/bestfriend. There you'll get 15% off your entire Raycon order, and it's such a good deal you'll want to grab a pair and a spare. That's 15% off at buyraycon.com/bestfriend. buyraycon.com/bestfriend. Okay. How was everyone's July 4th? And I'm just going to throw this out there, Daniel. I hope you don't mind me getting really vulnerable. Vulnerable.
Vulnerable
With our listeners. Okay, so Daniel and I were invited to 0 parties. Now, when I was a child, back when I said midden and cotton, I would have thought, I would have thought by the time I'm married with children, it doesn't matter whether I get invited to a party or not because like I've got my people. Turns out that's not true. So the question is, the people that Daniel and I know, did they not have parties, or are we undesirable at a party? Or have we not shown up to so many things that people are like, why invite them? They're not going to come. I don't know. But I know that everyone else here did stuff that was fun, and I just hope you had the best time.
I would say all of my friends, pretty much, who would have they all have kids. You know?
Yeah,
It's just
I know.
You can have kids and a party, though.
See?
It's possible.
Yeah, dress the kids up like little waiters.
Yeah.
Have them come around with trays of drinks.
I'm
It's
telling
fun.
you, Daniel,
Everyone
it's
loves
possible everyone we know actually did have. You know what?
You
Let
can
me
look on
rephrase.
Instagram and find out.
Yeah, I
I
was gonna say,
did.
yeah.
That's when my parents invited us down to Orange County. We did not take them up on the
See?
offer. So we did have an
So
invitation.
That seemed like that would have been pretty fucking off the chain. So
I
In
know.
order to get invited to parties, you need to be social with people. Lay the groundwork. And we have not been social for a long time.
That is a way to make us feel better. But
Well,
Daniel,
it's true.
quite possible.
We have not laid the groundwork.
What if we are unlikable?
There's that.
no, I bet you guys do great. I'd get great at a party. I bet you guys do amazing.
me
You
too.
have
I mean,
I would hope
interesting.
so.
You have interesting lines of work. You're both funny and charming for a living, and I bet you enhance any get together.
Thank you so much. That is what I needed to hear.
Yeah.
But I mean, the number of invitations yesterday would indicate you're just saying that.
But here's the thing. So it's still pandemic-y. So people are inviting like 5 people.
Right.
So if the people who are not in your top 5 are if they're not having parties, then you got to like
Your top
reach
5
out.
on Faceplace?
Yes, your top 5 on Faceplace. If they're not having like it's just like the party I went to yesterday was small. It
Right.
was
Okay.
no one's
Yeah.
so if it's not like your person you text every day, if it's not your best friend, you have to like reach out to figure out who's having a party.
Well, see, the people that are in our top 5, and I think we're in their top 5. We are, right? We are. I was like,
You never know.
I was like,
you never know.
They didn't reach out to find out what we're doing on July 4th. We also didn't reach out to them because the truth is we're happy to do nothing, but still. But then I saw that they were at a party, and I'm like, why didn't we get invited to that party? But it's because all those kids
they aren't
go
our
to the
friends.
same school.
They are.
They are. I did Mommy and Me with them. But to Ricky's point,
Yeah.
and by the way, I realize this has crossed past interesting through entertaining and is just sad now. And everyone wants me to move on, and I'm going to.
I think this is great. This is relatable. I think we all feel
It's
like
vulnerable.
this. We're all being vulnerable.
Yeah. So if Rikki is right, and I think she is, that they were keeping it like a small
Everyone's
sort of bubbly
cautious right
thing.
now.
Yeah, we wouldn't make
I
that
think
cut.
also
I saw some big parties though on
okay, but were they different parties? Because I saw
Yes.
there was one. Because there are people that I follow who are in their late 20s, maybe early 30s at the oldest, and like they had big parties, but that's because they're in their late 20s and their early 30s.
Names. Why not?
Well,
Kevin Porter.
Kevin Porter was.
He has an amazing social life.
Right, but it's like they're
He's
at
also
that
like
age.
30, isn't
Yes.
he?
Yeah, they're at that age
Yeah.
where like nobody's married and they're just having fun and they all go have group get-togethers.
But also next time you're feeling like I want to go to a party, just text Kevin. No, that's what you do. Like if you want to
Yeah.
go and no one asked you, you just like ask someone like that.
Yeah.
And they'll be
It's
like,
like,
oh, go to
Who
Dan's house.
invited their parents?
Yeah. There is that I have been the oldest person at a party before, and I'm like, ooh, no, this
Yeah.
is not great. Yeah.
This is not to make anybody feel bad.
No.
But I feel like it's very relatable. So not
Did you get invited to so many you didn't know which one to go to?
No, I leapt on the one invite I got. Like it was, what's something you leap on? I don't know.
Like a
A
grenade.
summer grunt.
Yes, I leapt on it like an exploding grunt to save the rest of my platoon. No, so I got a non 4th of July invite from Kevin Porter, who I think we all agree is very fun online and has a very fun.
Whoa.
Seems to be having a lot of fun, and I think has a very fun life and nice
Yes.
friends. And I, for whatever reason, couldn't go, and I felt that like, God, should I make this fucking work because I want to be on this list?
Yes.
I don't
That's-
want to be. I don't want
Yeah.
this to see. I would love to come. But it's that thing you're talking about. You're like, how many no's do I get to where I'm off
Right.
the fucking list?
Yes.
I want to be on the list. I want to be invited to the next one, like really bad. But I felt
Was it
like,
the movie?
No, I don't. I forget what it was. It was.
Of course
just,
you do.
Yeah, I know. How can I keep these all straight? But no, it was one of those things where I'm like, oh God, I'm so happy I'm getting this. I can't do it. How do I? How do I not seem desperate, but also communicate the information? Please invite me to the next one.
Do you know what's funny? I don't mind seeming desperate.
Okay,
Maybe
maybe
that's the one thing. The pandemic cured me of that. It really
Right.
did. Like, I mean, we texted during the pandemic. We were both quarantining alone, and like, you just like are like, I'm lonely. Hi, what's going on? Like, I was like,
I love that.
and everyone's like, oh, me too. Hi, and it's
Yeah.
just I kind of got past that thing, which was was
Right.
kind of nice. I made a friend in my building because I remembered
That's going
that
too
Kate
far.
had lunch with him like 5 years before, and I was like, does that guy still live here? And I texted him. I'm like, I live in your building. I'm lonely. Do you want to go for a walk? And he was like, yeah.
Oh, that's so nice.
So yeah, but that's a kind of desperate thing to do. You're like, I live here. I'm totally by myself. Will you please hang out with me? And pretty much everyone was like, sure. So I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, people like that.
And if they think I'm desperate, then don't hang out with me, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I also
Fine.
think like what you were saying though specifically with I can't come, but please invite me to the next thing. I think that's perfectly acceptable.
Yeah. I hope I was able to get that balance right.
So what'd you say?
I said, I'm busy, but I'd love to be invited to the next one.
I feel like that's so cash. That's good. Yeah.
I think I played it all right. So we'll see. We'll see if
Nobody doesn't like someone who wants to hang out with them.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like if you're expressing interest in someone, no one's like,
I'm still
"Ew,
trying to parse that.
ew."
Everyone likes someone who wants to hang out with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
It's flattering.
Yes.
If someone's
totally.
like, I'm thinking about you. How are you doing? Just, I'd love to see you. Like,
yeah.
And it's a thing in dating that you have to like remember back. I feel like I haven't heard this in a long time where it was maybe a 90s thing where they were like, don't call back for like
rules.
7 days or some shit like that. And it's like,
that book fucked me up.
no, you can show interest in a person and be genuine in their interest and not be overly like the thing that you're afraid you're going to come. You can ride that line and not be an asshole. Like just say like, I like you. I'm going to text you right after our date and say, hey, I really enjoyed that. Like, why do you have to wait? And
Right. And if
be
they need
withholding.
someone who's going to play that game, maybe they're not your person.
well, yeah,
sure.
exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
seems like it takes a lot of energy. Like, I'd rather focus on my writing than be like, when do I text him back? Like, I can't give that much.
right.
That's I think a thing that I certainly had to get over. And it's a weird thing to like wrap your brain around is that like, okay, if I do some slight little thing like text too much or not, if I do something wrong and then it turns the person off, that was never going to be a
person's
relationship.
not interested in
It
you.
really, yeah.
Yeah.
Because if they really like you, there's
Yes.
not much you can do to get
Right.
them not
Yes.
to.
Yes.
And if they don't like you, there's not much you can do to get them
Right,
to.
like the games.
Kind of in that sweet spot either, or you're kind of in one spot either way.
Totally. Like the games are all about when you like someone and that person is like borderline disinterested in you.
Right.
So it's all about like hooking them in or whatever. and
Yeah,
that's
can
not
I
what
get
you
a
want.
weird second date out of this
Right.
person? That's going to be kind of uncomfortable.
Like, can I trick them into wanting to be with me? Yeah, like what you should be after is don't waste time with that. Spend your time with people who actually like you and, don't mind if you're a little corny or a little like overly thirsty, or whatever the kids are saying.
Yeah, I think maybe we're trained a little bit, by media or whatever with the shit like, here's the rules, fellas, Like, I think we are kind of trained to believe that, like, if we play things right, you can make someone like you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's the like, let's give them the makeover, and then
Honestly,
it works.
my mind was completely fucked up by Grease 2. And I went into high
Sure,
school
by the reproduction song.
I went into
we
high
all were
school
pretty
thinking
fucked
I
up.
had to be the brooding stranger.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like the more brooding and like deep in thoughts I am, the more the girl. And guess what? No one wants anything to do with that person. Nobody. They're like, oh, that person's like, duh.
Want the cool rider?
They don't want cool
Don't
rider.
want the cool rider.
Okay, so I found the rules and I was going to read them, except there's 35. So let me just
Jesus.
explain.
Yeah,
this
what are your
book
top-
for my?
I read this book because I wrote a movie about women who, it was sort of like a Millionaire Matchmaker type movie once that did not get made, but it was kind of based on the rules.
So I don't even know how it works with dating right now, but there was a real push toward women should be able to ask men out. Don't wait around for a guy to ask you out. You can ask a guy out. So that, I don't know what era that was, but I feel like the rules was kind of a response to that. And the rules was very traditional, and it was written by these two women, Ellen Fine and Sherry Schneider, who I think they divorced at some point, not each other, after this, but they were like, we know this sounds really obnoxiously traditional, but tell me this, is your way working? And like anyone reading
boy.
it, of course it wasn't. Yeah, it was
Pretty
really
fucking sick burn.
it was
Yeah, no one's reading that if it's working.
right. It was pretty insidious.
So are you having sex while you're reading this? We didn't think so.
And there were like tons of case studies in there. Like our friend Paula is a,
Who's real?
our friend Paula,
Our real friend.
Yeah, she's a doctor,
Right.
and she owns
She
her
was
own
focused
home.
way too much on that, and men were
Yeah.
turned off.
Exactly. So here are some of the rules: be a creature unlike any other. I don't even know what that means.
Boy.
Don't check.
Like a vampire?
Done. Did it.
I have wings on my head.
Right.
Don't talk to a man first, and don't ask him to dance.
Are
Don't
these like
dance.
the female version of the game? Like
The game was a response to this, I
Oh.
think. Don't stare at men or talk too much. Don't meet him halfway or go Dutch on a date. Don't call him and rarely return his calls. Always end phone calls first. You're supposed to have an egg timer by the phone.
Whoa.
Don't accept a Saturday night date after Wednesday. And then there's how to act on dates 1, 2, and 3. How to act on dates 4 through commitment time.
What's the sex date? Do they say?
Oh, I don't.
Is it
remember.
after commitment time? Probably.
Probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when are you eating
after
the grunt?
marriage.
so to speak.
Stop dating him if he doesn't buy you a romantic gift for your birthday or Valentine's Day. Don't see him more than once or twice a week. Oh, and then I gotta get to the one
Some
where
of
I was
this-
like, I gotta throw.
I do have to
this
say,
out the
like,
window.
some of this is, I feel, is geared towards people who have low self-esteem and don't know how
Yes.
to recognize when a guy is basically an asshole. It's like what they're saying is like, this is the behavior of an asshole. Don't continue. If a guy is like calling you on Friday night to go out on, or Friday night to go out on Friday night or whatever,
Yeah.
it's like he just wants to fuck you, or whatever. And so like maybe that's good for some people who don't know how to like.
Well, if you think
know,
about
respect
it, the
themselves.
way they're telling a woman to behave is how someone who is very busy and not that interested in a guy would act, and that is not the worst way to go through life. I mean, it makes you less vulnerable, and I'm going to say it the normal way. Here's the part where I was like, I need to throw this book out the window. Even if you're engaged or married, you still need the rules.
Oh boy. So every time you're
What?
talking to your husband, set the egg timer. And when it dings, just go into the
God,
closet.
how would that even work?
Kate and I found this book called Fascinating Womanhood. And it was for women who are married. Most of it was, there was single, but it was mostly about married women. It's in the 50s. And it was basically like how to keep a man interested. And it would be like when installing a household appliance, install it upside down. So he has to come home and fix it.
Oh my God.
Like to make him,
Wow.
it was for smart girls to make him feel like he was smarter than
Yeah.
you. And it was like, pretend you're a bad driver. It was just all these things, like make him feel more masculine by
Right.
pretending you're way worse than you are.
Right.
So funny.
Some of that is in.
There's something
have you
to
read
that, though,
Men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
No.
I find that guy very insipid, but I feel like I kind of subscribe to the general principles of those books. But there's a lot of it in there, like how to make a guy feel useful.
But it's also, which may be true for some people, but it's like, it's presupposing that men are all so weak
Yeah.
that they have to feel they're like a better, I don't know. Which
Daniel,
some
you
people
love
are.
doing stuff around the house, right?
I don't mind doing stuff around the house, but it's like when it's when
Daniel
I'm-
wishes I did more.
whatever. What Ricky's talking about reminds me of. It's funny how these ideas change over time. My grandmother wrote. She took some fiction writing class when she was old, and she wrote about this like sexy robot woman that this scientist created, and
What?
the way that she wrote
like
about
weird science?
Yeah. But she was like an android, and the way she wrote this, like, and this wasn't comedy. It wasn't supposed to be like, oh, how hilariously like over the top. It was like supposed to be very sexy, and she would go. She had gum. She was trying. Hey, sugar, like this, like, and it was just like the notion she had of what a sexy woman behaves like is out of some bizarre like 1940s like.
Right.
Hey,
It's like Mae West with a piece of gum.
yeah. Hey, boys.
You want some big league chew? I work at a bank. Yeah, a bank.
Who's that sexy mom over there? Yeah.
What was the story?
I don't know. My mom might have a copy of it. I should probably. My mom feels weird about it because I think for
How-
her it's a little like, ugh.
How explicit does it get?
Oh, it might get very. I don't know.
Ooh,
yeah.
my grandma
Why she
write
feels
a porno?
weird. Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
your grandmother write a robot porn? That would be so cool.
My
That sounds like a
grandmother-
good podcast.
Hey.
That sounds like that could be popular.
My grandmother, I was at a signing when I wrote some Spider-Man comics way back in the day, and I was at a signing at a comic book store, and it was for kids. It was like geared toward 8 to 13-year-olds. So there was like a bunch of like young boys, getting. And she came, and the whole time she was wanting to sign the comics. And then my grandfather had died, was trying to get advice from these 13-year-old boys on how to meet a man.
Whoa.
Wow.
She was like in her 70s.
I mean, it's never too late.
I was mortified.
My grandmother dated until she died. After she got a divorce, she was like, oh, I cannot believe I was ever married. I'm never doing this again. And she wouldn't even commit to people. She would be like, after 65, I won't be a girlfriend because that means you're a nurse. So she would only be like casual. She would date.
That's different.
Oh, yeah. She was like, I don't
No
think
strings
so, guys.
attached.
Totally.
Yeah.
And she had like big boobs and she drank Manhattans all day. And
God
Did she
bless
get
her.
fake boobs later in life?
yeah,
or-
she did.
Wow.
She was, yeah.
She sounds like quite a character.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen, there's no rules. Do whatever makes you happy.
I like that your aunt was looking for dating advice, and she's like, who would know? 13-year-old comic book fans.
my grandmother.
They're all in relationships.
No, but there were a couple,
More about dating.
there were a couple like 13-year-old guys who were just like sincerely trying to tell her how to I don't know, there's like match.com or something. It's like, oh my god.
There's that Silver Singles or something. I always get ads. I don't know why, but I always get ads for that. It's like for over 65 dating.
God.
I'm like, why is this always sent to me?
I will occasionally get an ad for a dating thing that is like very not my demographic. Anyway, that is always a weird like, what does the algorithm think of me? Like,
Yeah. So what did you guys do for July 4th?
I was at a friend's place in Highland Park last night. I honestly don't care about the 4th at all. Like I anger people usually when I say I don't care about fireworks at all. Like I haven't since I was 7. Like if I see them, sure, I'm not going to get mad at them. Although I was kind of getting mad at them last night because they just
Highland Park
in Highland Park it was
is nuts.
relentless.
No,
it was
it's nuts.
hours of just like nonstop, so loud, like to the point that I was there to just hang out and talk to friends, and it was kind of hard to hear each other, and so it was both fun and annoying at the same time.
Yeah, that whole like east side of LA, I'm honestly like 36 straight hours of nonstop fireworks. Wow. Yeah, it's just like constantly.
It was, yeah, but like I and it's bad every year, but it was like a new level this year. I think like it was
People are
constant.
blowing off steam. Everyone's
Yeah.
pent up. Doesn't surprise me.
Tony posted a picture of a shirt that I have not stopped laughing about. Where did you find that?
It's this account called Meth Syndicate that they make just ridiculous shirts like that.
It says, "Stomp my flag, I'll eat your ass."
Doesn't it have like a semi on it?
I've seen that. That is someone trying to be funny,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay,
I didn't
Yes,
realize
but there's
that. I thought-
one.
Yeah.
There's one that wasn't trying to be funny that was similar to that.
right. Yeah, because I
And
feel like I
can't
have
remember what that was.
seen what it's parodying is those kind of Facebook algorithm shirts. That's like,
Right.
I'm a redneck gun-toting, beer-swilling American, and if you try and take my flag, I'm gonna
Yes.
jack off on your and it's
Yeah.
those the
And then
long
15 different fonts.
lot of
and they're all
fonts.
like,
Yes.
And there's usually like weirdly specific things in there. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm a 52-year-old single lady who loves Nirvana and hates. it just keeps going to all these really, but like that is literally made
I
for
think-
one person.
I don't love tomatoes. It's more of a texture thing. It's like, all right.
See, now that would be a great shirt. Like, I used to collect Beanie Babies, but now I'm, only into NFTs and
Sure.
yeah, geodes.
I'm liking Loki, but I'm not loving it. I'll stick around to the end. I kind of want to see what the
And I
mystery
love
is.
America.
Yeah, and I also
you don't
love
like it, you can fuck off.
And then it's like a minion farting, and then that's just an unrelated minion.
What's that need to project that to people standing behind you at Walmart? You know what I mean? Like,
To project
why
which one though?
the whole those
that
shirts?
toughness,
Yeah,
yeah.
like why do you need to just like? I need to make sure that person behind me knows this information about me. You know what? I don't.
Yeah, I don't get
Relate
it.
to
I'm not a fan of. Whatever, swear. I don't care if people swear, but like, it bothers me when people wear like a shirt that's just like "fuck off" or whatever. You know, it's just something incredibly unclever. It's like, what if you walk past kids? Like, I don't know.
Fuck
Yeah.
off shirt's pretty funny though.
That is actually.
I was just picturing Kate McCuchy walking around in a fuck off shirt, and that
yeah.
actually
Well,
does make it funny.
The right person,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be incredible. Does Kate McCucci still look as young as I remember her looking?
Yes, she does. Yes, she's small and young looking. Yes.
Well, what kind of answer though is she going to get?
What if I was like, no, she looks so old. No.
She would like literally overnight age
Yeah.
like 15 years.
It was
It's
like
scary.
she looks 50, honestly. Although I do have to say, almost everyone I know thinks they look younger than they look.
Yeah.
Don't you think everyone thinks they look a few years younger than their
Yeah.
age, and nobody does?
No.
Like,
All right.
I feel like I did for a long time, and I've lost that. And it's been something that's very noticeable to me in photos now because I'm like, what happened?
Well, you know what it is?
When did old face descend on my face?
If you don't really know somebody, okay, and then you see them, they always look the age they are.
Yeah.
But it's like with Macaulay Culkin or someone. When you knew them as a kid, they still kind of look like a kid. It's weird. You can never see them. Or Ricky Schroeder, who's like a nightmare person right now. But you look at him and you're still like, oh, like you're
Silver
the little
spoons.
kid. Yeah. There's something about knowing what the face looked like when it was young that just keeps you from seeing it
Maybe.
totally as it is.
that makes sense. I just have a lot of actresses, and none of them think they can play their age, and they all can play their age. They're like, well, I don't look 35, and I'm like, no, you're 42. You look 42. You know, but it's fine. But it's like they look good. It's not a bad thing. I just don't think it's bad to look your age. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
everybody does. I think.
I've been a little bit self-conscious lately about my looks, just because I'll talk about it in the plugs thing. I have this book
you're
coming
just
out,
too sexy.
I'm too sexy.
Yeah, and
It
intimidate.
intimidates people.
The only time I stop having sex is to record podcasts
Or read the rules.
or read the rules.
Brush up.
Right. Anyway, I've had to like give people publicity photos for stuff, and I don't think I look good in any of them. I kind of got one recently that I kind of like, but I don't like them. I'm like, okay, I have to send something, so I'll send this. So I've been kind of self-conscious about my looks, but the other day I was in a Panera bathroom, and I looked great in the Panera bathroom mirror. I'm like, why do I look so good in this lighting? If I ever get married, I want to have my wedding photos in this Panera
You
bathroom.
should go back with outfit changes and then have. I'm not even joking. You should go back with a couple different outfits. Go to the bathroom, get all the photos that you need for a while.
I should. I mean, people will be kind of
not?
wondering, like, where are you?
You're like, don't worry about it.
It's someplace cool. It's a
Cropped
studio.
clothes, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, take
What
note
kind
of
of-
the color of the walls
Yeah,
and
what
stuff
kind of
because it might be a
lighting?
color.
It was kind
light.
of greenish. You know the Panera colors, kind of a green, yellow, kind of a earthy olive.
Do you feel like it could be any Panera bathroom or this one specifically?
That is an amazing question, and then I will now drive across
Please.
country, going from Panera to Panera, finding where I look the best.
Was there windows or was it?
No windows.
Really?
Yeah.
And you did some like immediate comparisons before, like after, to like, do I look this good right now, or was it just specifically this?
Yeah, no, I got home and I looked in the mirror. I'm like, yep, goblin. but in this Panera bathroom, I don't know. I was stunning. I've never looked so good.
I want to go to this Panera and see how I look in the mirror.
You should. It's in Pasadena. I'll send you the Panera. I don't know. I don't know if it's just like my skin tone or
Yeah, it just
whatever
agreed with
maybe
you.
worked. I'm just like this. I wish I could like socialize in here so I could like meet people.
You're like the Fonz. That's your new office.
Right.
The bathroom is the Panera.
Yeah.
You need to redesign your own bathroom So
I know.
that
I
it's
need to
just
find.
like
I need to
Panera.
write Panera corporate and say like, what bulbs do you use? Like,
So
what
the
wattage?
companies that have offices near Walmart in Northwest Arkansas will design their entire interior of their offices to be exactly like corporate headquarters at Walmart, just so their salespeople will get used to the environment. It's this craziest thing.
Interesting.
So
Wait,
you
I'm
could.
sorry. Everything just went too fast. What?
Well, I'm trying to
was
get through the
listening,
boring part.
But I know. But I want to understand. I want to understand.
Like if you went
it.
to say Black and Decker's offices in Bentonville, the interior of their office space will look exact same carpet, same wall colors, same cubicles as Walmart headquarters. Like they just replicate the look so that their salespeople, I guess, are like used to. I don't know why. That's a thing. And why are you looking at me like that?
But why Black and Decker? Like all the other businesses?
I think Sony might have done that too. I'm just saying, like,
So the business. Okay, go ahead. Never
what's
mind.
confusing?
Is everyone else following this?
Sort of.
You're saying
I'm waiting for the second part of it so that I
psychological-
understand the first part.
Yeah, that's like the psychological effect that lighting has.
I can't exactly tell you why they do it.
But
I
you're
just
saying
know
that
that they
other
do it.
businesses in Bentonville, which is where Walmart's headquarters
Oh,
are.
I'm sorry. So maybe I shouldn't have brought this up. This is too. Walmart headquarters has around them every major company that does business with Walmart has offices near there.
Yes, I feel this was
Sure.
with their salespeople, so they can regularly just pop in
Got it.
and make sales calls on the buyers at Walmart. This is not interesting to
no,
anybody.
but that was
But-
necessary. Now it makes
Okay, so now you understand.
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah, it's not like Black & Decker's like showroom or something.
I dated somebody for a while who made a product that dealt with Walmart, and she just had to fly to Bentonville like once a month to like bend the knee to Walmart. And it was this
it's a
thing.
whole
There's like,
thing.
well, maybe we should get an office out there because I'm just doing this so
They're
often.
just such a huge force in, whatever. So, this is all a way of saying that you should make your office look like a Panera Bread's bathroom. What?
Yeah.
Just-
No, it'd be
So
great.
to get-
Wrong
so to
turn.
Panera Instagram filter.
So to get them used to Walmart, they all look like Walmart.
I'm
they
just
designed
saying
it.
you
That
can
makes sense.
recreate
Yeah.
your
Right.
office as a Panera bathroom.
Yeah, and maybe I mean, obviously, like so much of this stuff is just confidence.
Yes.
Like you will project how you feel. Confident people will project,
And you're most confident in a Panera bathroom.
Yeah,
But I've also noticed a lot of men don't know their colors.
sure. Yeah,
Women
you're
know
right.
their colors.
You're right.
A lot of you guys all seem to, but a lot of men don't. You got to know are you like an autumn?
Right.
Are
Right.
you
Right.
Are an
right.
earth
Like I
tones?
couldn't get away with this shirt.
I'm a flatbread pizza. Apparently,
You're a cream of broccoli.
right?
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
you're a spring.
Okay, that's.
I'm pretty
okay.
sure. Yeah.
yeah. You pair well with croissants and
Yeah.
loaves of bread.
Right, yeah, a surprisingly large iced tea selection.
Right. Soups and bread
4
bowls.
iced teas there. I love it.
What is? I think I'm a winter.
Oh, it's like there's like people who look good in earth tones.
Right.
Yeah.
Which
The
one is
fact that
spring?
he can, because he can pull off the spring. These
Right.
colors.
Oh,
Yeah,
gotcha.
It's pastels. And
Yes.
Like aqua instead of navy.
Right.
Like that kind of. Yeah.
Right.
Red instead of maroon.
Yeah. I'm definitely earth. I can't do the aquas very easily or the pastels.
I'm
This
a
is like a
total
way
pastel.
louder shirt than I usually wear. This
It
is like
looks
a
good. It's
branch out
working.
for me. Oh, thank
Yeah,
you. Thanks.
working
nice,
for
nice,
you,
nice to say.
yes.
Thanks.
You got to wear that to Panera next time.
It'd be great if like just didn't work. Like, fuck it, I lost the shirt. The shirt doesn't work. Yeah, Tony, you have kind of like a colorful like summer fun shirt on as well.
Thank you.
Is that-
But it's at the end of the day, it's black though, which I tend to gravitate toward the black. But you put a little something else on there.
Well,
I can do it.
Bad boys don't wear pastels.
That's right.
You know
That's
what I mean?
right. Thank you. Thank you for saying it. I didn't want to have to.
That's like the our version of like real men don't eat quiche. Which was that something people actually said?
I think it was it was a title of a book. I think it was supposed to be a joke. But then everyone's so insecure in this country. Every man is so insecure about their masculinity that I think a lot of guys stopped eating quiche for real.
I mean, it's that fascinating womanhood thing. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
make them feel like they're better drivers.
Quiche is
Don't let them
awesome.
eat quiche. Yeah.
I'm comfortable enough to eat quiche. I don't care. I don't care what anyone thinks.
Yeah, hell yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Eat
Yeah.
that quiche, buddy.
And I'll have a
Fuck yeah,
mimosa while I'm at
dude.
it.
Yeah. What'd you say?
Said I'll have a mimosa while I'm at it. I don't give a
Yeah.
shit. Fuck it.
Listen, I call myself the queen of segues, and yet I am finding that it is hard to go from quiche and mimosas to a DNA test for your dog. And I got to find a way to bridge it. Let me see.
You might buy a stray animal if you're out there getting drunk on mimosas.
That's true.
You might want to know what kind of dog it is. That dog you got at the shelter.
Yes. Here's the thing about
Real men buy dogs at shelters and then get them DNA tests.
Well, you adopt, Daniel. Your language is all wrong. Here's the thing. The Embark dog DNA test is more powerful than the competitors. It tells you more about your dog. They can give you specifically what kind of dog you have, the breeds that make up your dog with more detail. We did it with Wendy, and we knew that she was a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. So I would have been neat if something came back in terms of what breed she is that I didn't know, but it came back that she is, 100% Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. But there's all this other information that you get as well. It can tell you about genetic, diseases or conditions that your dog might have a predilection for.
Help your vet.
It helps your vet, exactly. But also, you can be connected to relatives of your dog. So that has been very fun because I get little alerts saying that like Wendy has a new relative, and then I can go look at their, and I can bark at them or I can connect with them, and that has been really cool. And it's very easy. It's just a cheek swab. So yeah, it's great. It's easy. They keep you in the loop as the test, sort of ascends to the different levels, and then you get your results back, and it is great. Learn your dog's inner secrets with Embark, the highest rated dog DNA test. Right now, Embark has an offer on their breed and health kit for our listeners. Go to embarkvet.com to get free shipping and save $50 off your Embark breed and health kit with promo code BESTFRIEND. Visit embarkvet.com and use promo code BESTFRIEND to save $50 today. I also want to take a second to tell you about an awesome podcast called The Sloppy Boys from our pals Jeff Dutton, Tim Kalpakis, and Mike Hamford, who are also in a kick-ass party rock band called Sloppy Boys. What's the show about? It's a podcast about cocktails. Each week they drink and discuss a cocktail recognized by the International Bartenders Association. They also have a great Patreon where patrons, as they call them, get access to the Sloppy Boys Blowout, a weekly bonus episode where the guys will talk about music, movies, TV shows, or honestly anything they damn well please. And you don't have to be a drinker to enjoy it. They're just having fun, and you'll have a blast listening. So check it out for a funny, boozy, wild time. The Sloppy Boys podcast is on Spotify, Apple, or anywhere you get your podcasts. And last week we talked about, I wondered who wrote the caption, "Are you coconut?" About it was Jeff Dutton doing something wild and crazy with a drink, and it said, "Are you coconuts for Loco Duts?" And it was Tim. Yes.
Tim, yeah.
He wrote back guilty as charged. I just love those guys. I think they are hilarious. They're hilarious. Let's do something we haven't done in a little while. iTunes comments of the week.
Oh, I was not expecting.
I know. I like to throw Tony for a loop.
Allison wants your iTunes comments. Allison wants them, yes she does. Please leave her some iTunes comments and don't forget to click 5 stars.
Jordan, would you mind reading a positive comment?
I would
about
not
my
mind.
show?
I would love to. That would feel great for all of us.
Do you have a negative one there?
I sure do.
Can I have it?
Yes.
This is the title of this review is Comfort Podcast. The user is Sildha Saja Za I Yafafa Ba S Jaya Ga Ja E Ka O Ka X Ha.
I love them.
They're the best. It looks like just a cat jumped on the keyboard. That's their username. They say, I've been a listener for almost 5 years now. Recently, I lost one of my best friends to suicide. Laughing and doing anything is the hardest thing in the world right now, but when I turn on this podcast, there's an instant feeling of comfort, and I actually laughed for the first time in weeks. It's genuinely helping me take my mind off it, and it's been the most comforting experience. It's like I'm with a best friend. Much love, Allison and gang.
Oh,
Hey.
that's so
Yeah,
nice.
that's
I'm
wonderful.
so sorry to hear about your
Yeah,
friend.
geez.
But I am glad that you're able to laugh and that we brought you some comfort. So thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. And I have also this person, if they listen for a long time, did they say 5 years?
It does, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sure they've heard me talk about, I also lost someone to suicide, and it was awful. But if you will get to a place where it doesn't hurt as bad. And you'll be able to think about them and it won't cause so much pain. Okay, so not everyone is as positive about the show, though. On the other hand...
This comment is called Boring. 1 star by JMC 3000. I used to really like this show, but it's become so boring and weird in a non-fun way. It's about nothing. Pointless stories, not funny, cringy, and often gross.
Well, I can't disagree. I mean, I don't think it's boring.
Gross? That's a weird word to use.
It is weird.
We
yeah.
talk about like farts and stuff.
Oh.
So we are gross sometimes. But
Gross.
You know, I think
Some people
warranted.
like boring. Come on.
Okay, so Jordan, did you tell us what you actually did on July 4th?
Oh, yes, not too interesting. I had a friend. He has a lovely patio overlooking Echo Park Lake. You can see a lot of nice fireworks. There was like 6 of us. We had some beers. He made some burgers, and we all had a nice time.
Lovely.
Yeah.
And Riki, you said that you were at a party.
I had a very similar experience to Jordan, except it was Toluca Lake. And it was lovely. And I watched fireworks and ate some burgers with some friends.
Nice.
It was great.
Daniel, we got to go to some kind of lake.
But I do think
That's where the
there
parties
is
are, is at the
something
lakes.
to what you were saying about. I think I think there was this maybe idea that like post pandemic was going to be the Roaring '20s, and it was all going to be just this kind of bacchanal.
Yeah.
If that's happening, I don't know about it. So yeah, and I do think people are easing into it in a responsible way, and I think that the parties are a little smaller, and maybe they'll get raging sometime soon.
Yeah. Riki and I were talking about this for a quick second as we walked into the studio. I was saying how much I'm loving doing in-person shows again. Loving. But I'm wondering, like, is there another lockdown? Are we headed for another lockdown? And Riki, you were saying you don't think so. You feel like we're vaccinated, we're good. And I toggle back and forth between feeling like I'm invincible, I'm vaccinated, which is generally how I feel, and then reading about like breakthrough infections and wondering where this Delta variant is headed. That being said, it seems like people who do test positive after being vaccinated is a very mild case.
No one's died. No one's died of it here who's been vaccinated.
That's good.
But there might be lockdown. Well, the places where there probably should be lockdowns because of the low vaccination rates and the high Delta won't. So, there probably won't be lockdowns.
Good. We can just keep doing in-persons then, Tony.
Yeah. Delete Zoom.
Yeah. Tony and I talked on the phone. We had never done this.
What?
I'm not a real phone talker.
Yeah.
I'm such a phone person. I'm
Are
just
you?
like straight from the net. Yeah, I talk to
Are
everyone
you a
on the phone.
fascinating woman?
I think I am. I talk to people on the phone. I have a friend who I talk with on the phone every single day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just
I got
good.
I got phonier during the pandemic just because I'm like, yeah, that was just a way to socialize. You like go on your, you go on your dumb little walk that you had to go on every day, and you put in earbuds and you talk to a friend. It was nice.
Here's a question. If someone calls you a friend now, so it's like, caller ID, so and they call you, but they don't leave a voicemail, do you call them back?
yeah. Because I'm just like, I don't care about being desperate anymore. I'm just like, did you call me? Yeah.
But
Like,
also,
I just don't care.
A lot of people are
Yeah.
anti voicemail at this point. So if you leave a voicemail, they're never going to listen to it.
It's never interesting.
Yeah.
Like, hey, it's me. I don't ever listen. I just call back.
Some people will, if they don't get your voicemail, if they get your voicemail, they won't leave a voicemail. They'll just text you right away. Like, hey, and I've done that too. That's like a faster way to get to the person.
Yeah. So, but if you don't get the text and you don't get a voicemail, to me, that means it wasn't important. And I'm
Yeah.
antisocial enough where I'm like, oh, okay.
I don't know if a phone call is ever about anything important. So, yeah, I don't know. People just call you to talk.
Right.
I feel like I'm in the opposite boat where I only get them when it's important.
Yeah.
I have a lot of people who say you're the only person I talk to on the phone other than my mom.
It is interesting. So the reason Tony and I talked, so I had Chris Hansen on my show, and there was an awkward moment that I was wondering whether we should leave it in or cut it out. I felt like it did not necessarily reflect the best on me as an interviewer because I started to ask him a question and then I like backed off of it. But I thought it was interesting in an awkward way, but also I could just take it out and then it's like you don't even see the vulnerabilities. So Tony
Excellent
was
pronunciation.
Thank you.
Vulnerable.
Tony was, do you ever do a podcast and afterwards you're like, I called back the same joke so many times I want to kill myself?
No, there's never too many callbacks. Keep them coming.
I just felt like if I mispronounced it again, it would just be too much.
I hear it. Right.
Too much. When I was on Throwing Shade the first time, I said something like, I don't even know what the reference was, but I'm like, I'm going to get letters. And I like beat that to death.
Yeah.
I was just
They haven't had you on since.
I was feeling ashamed about that just yesterday.
How
Oh,
long
you
ago
are
was
so
this?
hard on yourself.
I know.
Wow. You got to get that amnesia, man. You got to get that like reset.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it is like the best. Just like you got to just like zip off the old suit and just like walk in, like be like let it fucking go.
Sometimes I go back and forth between being able to and not be. I don't really know why.
Please share with Ricky your Lyft story.
Okay. So real fast though, I needed to talk to Tony about his thoughts about leaving it in or cutting it out. And I just knew that it was one of those things where we could text about it, but it's like a phone is going to be so much better. And it really was. So I might become a Ricky. By that, I mean someone who talks on the phone. I don't know.
I had a kind of a short job that had a long commute associated with it recently. By the way, working in an office, huh? Kind of weird, kind of fun. But it was a super long commute. And I got to the point where I would pick a person I was going to talk to on the way home. I love catching up with someone while I'm like on a long commute. And I would like text them. I'm like, hey, can I call you today at 6:30? And then I would just chat with that person on the way home. It was awesome.
I was doing that for a little bit too. It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like being on a podcast while you're in your car.
But it also makes that drive.
I would plug at the end.
Do ads like mid rolls.
Hey, how do you find like your mattress?
No, I was doing that for a little bit, and if you're in like just stuck in traffic, it makes it go by so quick. It's
great.
You're just
Who were you talking to?
friends.
The reason I can't do that is because I have such a bad sense of direction that I have to pay attention to the road and to ways.
Sure. I know what you mean.
I wish. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's like any long drive where I know where I'm going. Nope.
It's fucked me up a couple times too.
Yeah.
They're like talking on the phone. I'm like, oh, I'm on a different freeway now. So
Okay, so the story that Tony is referring
yes.
to. So I was sitting there and I was thinking about my parents told me one time that they did not have the best Uber score. And I was thinking about that and I was like, no offense, but I can sort of see where maybe they have done things
Right.
that rub the driver the wrong way. Versus like, I'm sure that I, conscientious, polite,
Just a delight all the way around.
All the way
in
around.
all interactions.
I'm sure-
a 5-star
Always.
experience. Allison Rosen.
If they could give me more than 5 stars, they would, because I do everything right when it comes to riding in an Uber or Lyft. I'm so sure of it. Just go, girl. Thank you. So I went to look at my Lyft score because that's when I don't have Uber anymore. Remember when everyone erased Uber?
Yes, it was for a reason.
Yes.
That
and
was
I can't
very
remember
good,
what it was.
and we all did it, and it was good that we did it. What was it?
I don't
Who knows?
remember.
I didn't erase mine.
Yeah,
It's okay. Listen,
well, that's good because now you'll be able to look up your score. So did you know that we have a rider score? They give us a score.
right.
Oh, right.
We
I did
grade
know
them
that.
and they grade us, and
Okay.
we can find out. And it used to be hidden on Lyft, but then it changed. So I went and looked, and yes, thank you. My Lyft score is.
I'll see what mine is too. Let's all look up our.
I know what mine is.
Oh wow!
It's 4.8.
Out of 5.
Great.
But
Not
this,
five.
this is
Not
sticking in your
Not
craw.
5.
It's in my craw.
Mine's 4.82.
Look at that.
That's pretty
See,
good.
It's a great score.
Ricky,
4.8.
We need to
or
hang out.
4.8 also.
4.82.
Okay.
All,
Also,
in addition to not being 4.8. I don't know.
Oh, wait a minute. So you're just
She's 0.02 more than you.
yeah. I'm
Better
just
than you.
I'm just 4.8 down the line.
She's not going to sleep tonight.
Oh no.
Guys,
What's yours?
sorry about this.
You have 5.
5 stars. Perfect 5.
I swear to God,
Yeah.
I know.
Sorry. Sorry.
I know
It's
why
'cause
you
we're
don't.
women.
I know. Well, I know why you don't have a perfect score.
Is it because we're women?
Well, if the guy wanted to talk to you and you didn't talk to him, then they get mad. You get some zeros and it brings it down. You get all 5s.
I feel like this is possibly what is. I want to believe that.
Can't you feel it sometimes when people?
Yeah.
Yeah, that anger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is the first time I felt good.
I bet you have all 5s and then you got just a couple zeros because you pissed some dudes off.
I mean, that works for me to understand it that way because the number of men I've talked to who have 5s, but also I haven't met a man yet who has less than Tony, do you have less than a 5?
Yeah, I did. I think I had less than you.
Really?
Yeah, I think I was like 4.7 or something. I was like just under. I think.
Well,
I'll
with
look
the
again.
exception of Tony, the number of men I've met who have perfect 5s, it's at least 3. Jordan, are you chatty?
No, I do.
Really?
I don't want to do it. I don't want to chat. I don't want to chat in the Uber.
Oh, and they're okay with
But do
that?
people ever get mad at you?
Because the other people I know who have Nick Weiger and Greg Fitzsimmons,
Wow.
they're like super, like they practically seduce the driver.
Interesting.
I mean, I'm joking, but
Right. No. Yeah, I try and I kind of try and politely shut conversation down. I kind
You
of
still
try
have
and give a
5.
curt answer. Once in a while somebody will like have a great vibe and they're fun to chat with. But in general, I don't really want to do chit chat just because you know, it's I got a flat earth guy once. I got a let's ship the homeless people somewhere guy once. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, I can't do those. It's such a weird feeling being trapped with like someone who has a belief that might indicate they are an insane person.
same.
So yeah, I think I'm just trying to remain ignorant as to what my Lyft driver is into.
yeah,
I had one once where he said he was getting into musical comedy. And so I thought he knew who I was. He did not. And like I thought he was, and he starts talking about musical comedy and
Right.
I was like, yeah, I know what you mean. And he was kind of like, no, what I'm talking about. And I was like, no. And then I was like, oh, he's just telling me about it. Got it. Okay,
Wow.
cool. Yeah. I was like,
That's
cool,
so
cool.
funny.
He was like mansplaining musical comedy to me.
It's like, if you ever want to try it, get yourself some guitar lessons and
Get a partner, maybe. Give
Yeah.
her a ukulele.
The way you're just letting your 4.82 roll off is beautiful.
I don't
Ricky,
care at all.
Have you always? You seem to be pretty secure, or at least you tend to. Things seem to roll off your back a little more than what I'm used to. And I'm wondering if you've always been that way,
I don't know.
or if that's even accurate.
I do feel like I feel like I've had more than my fair share of like ire like aimed at me that I'm just like, well, okay, fine. Like I'm like,
He seems really centered and mature.
I just don't care about internet comment. I just don't care. I just don't care. Like you could look up Halle Berry and you'd have 500,000 people being like, she's the ugliest woman that ever existed.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, well, that's not true. So it's just she's clearly not, or whatever. So
Right.
I don't know.
But it seems
I
like in
just-
real life you're centered too. I mean, not
I
just
have a
internet
terrible
stuff.
memory, which helps me a lot. No, yeah, I feel I don't know. I just don't care about that stuff
Yeah.
at all. I feel like I have real problems sometimes and that I can't focus on dumb problems.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
But I don't know. I know there's like dumb shit I focus on though, like everyone else. Just not that. I don't know.
Yeah, everybody's got things. You still
Yeah.
haven't gotten to the best part of the story, though.
What's the best part?
Oh, I forget. Oh no.
Well, it involves the phone.
Oh, what I forgot. Okay. So I texted Lyft through their, like I chatted with them. And I just wanted to know if they could tell me. I forgot.
Who gave you the bad scores?
Like what city it was in, because it makes no sense to me. It makes no sense. But I figured if I remember during Sketchfest, a group of us got into a car and I was not drunk, but I think my friends were.
Maybe
so I
it's
could
someone
see-
else's fault.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I have, I've ordered lifts for people. Maybe they're, 4.8 material.
I think you're giving too much credit to these Lyft drivers.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't think I think they're usually, most people are just like 5, 5, 5. Like, nobody cares.
So
Like,
listen to this. Since I brought it up on the show, someone who drives for Lyft told me the passenger automatically gets a 5. They have to manually go in to give you a lower score.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think, to be fair, though, I think that it, like, they close it, and I think it just, like, the stars still come up, but I think they would, like, it's not like they have to go in. It's like they're there, and then I think they would just like, touch it and change it slightly.
I mean, I bet you anything. It's just men you didn't talk to.
That feels right to me.
Don't you feel that sometimes when they get mad? Yeah.
Sure. That feels, I mean, that this really feels right.
I had a guy asking me out on the way to pick up. I was like headed out to dinner and I was picking up my date. He lived like on the same street as me. And he was like, he's like, if I was your boyfriend, you'd never pay for an Uber. And did it like, he was really like laying it on thick.
Because your boyfriend would drive an Uber.
Right. So. but then the guy gets in the car and he just like, I could tell he was like mad that it was a guy or something. I don't know. It was like I don't know. I was like, I bet he gave me a 0. He really didn't like that we were picking up a man. And he was trying the whole, like, it was like 6 blocks and he was hard sell being like, go out to dinner with me. Yeah. And I was like, nope, still picking up my friend. Yeah.
Boy. Oof.
Is that surprising?
No, I mean, just like,
It's inappropriate and unprofessional is what it is.
I know the little bit, like, that I felt kind of unsafe when I got the Flat Earth guy. I just imagine that for women, it is just that constant feeling of, like, what weirdo am I trapped with?
Well, I was texting my friend everything that was going on as we were picking him up. So he came in the car and acted like he was this like angry aggro dude. He just pretended to be this very man.
It's funny.
So have some fake blood you're washing off your hands as you're getting in the car. Be sharpening an axe.
Right, like if you're a woman, you're constantly having to worry about whether you're sending signals of interest, right, to somebody that you're not actually interested in. So there's like modulating how friendly you are. That's got to be exhausting.
It's this weird like Goldilocks thing that you're always supposed to be in the. It's that men started to feel after Me Too, and we're like, yeah, no, that's how we always live. They're like, so I can't like, what if I compliment someone? What if I don't? And we're like, no, we've always struggled with that. Right. We don't want to compliment someone because what if they, we've always, that's always been our thing. Yeah, trying to find that line, but whatever. Who cares? Who cares if we get a 4.8? That's who cares.
I mean, who cares?
Does it affect the frequency? Where I know now it's a little tougher to get a lift.
I think a 4.8 is high enough that you won't start getting matched with worse drivers or anything like that. But still, it just, I want.
So is there a world out there of 3 rated drivers and 3 rated passengers that are always giving each other rides, like these just nightmare ride passenger situations?
What a thought experiment. There's just some like puking drunk in the back of a car that has 3 babies in it.
Just wild conversations about nonsense.
Swerving across the freeway wildly.
Wait, they get matched? You get matched with like attracts like with Uber?
I think so.
Well, I would imagine the way it works is if you're a 3-star driver, it's harder for you to get people to want to ride with you. Maybe
I just get assigned a person. I always just get like Dana's way. Like I don't. They're not like. Would you like Teresa?
But you could go
no. No, but they I think get the option of whether they take you or not.
Oh, okay.
So if you're a 2.5 passenger,
they're like, no.
Yeah, no one's going to accept you except somebody who's desperate.
Right. Yeah. I would totally get a new email if I was a 2.5. I'd start over.
Yes.
Yeah. You should start over.
I know.
Get back up to 5.
I totally should.
Keep it as long as you can.
Well, what you could do is start over and then keep track, and then you'll know exactly who gave you the low, and then you could call them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so they wouldn't tell me anything, except they did reveal that it wasn't, because I was like, "What? Can you just tell me? Was it 1 ride or multiple?" And they're like, "It's multiple."
And did they give you 0s or just like 4s?
They wouldn't tell me that. They kept saying it's private. We can't tell you it was private.
I had to shut down an Airbnb account because of a bad review once, and so I had to like kind of start all over with Airbnb.
What did you do?
Yeah, what'd you do?
I was in another city for a wedding.
And trash the place.
You meet people at a wedding sometimes. The review basically said that you were too loud. You were too loud. You had you should not. You were not supposed to have anybody here, and you were too.
You
loud.
should have kept that up. You should put it as the first thing on your dating profile.
Right? Yeah,
That's
sure.
Right. We shut down Airbnb.
Yeah. Panera bread selfie, Airbnb review.
Right.
You're like, come on.
Who's this catch? Who does he have a cat too?
Was this person in like the next door house or something?
I think I didn't know it, and they were. Yes, I think they were on the premises.
There's a new bad boy of podcasting.
like this was a guest house or something, or they were just lurking?
So I feel like I kind of like I came into this kind of apartment-y complex type thing and like threw down my stuff and left, and then I didn't know the lay of the land, and I think the quarters were closer than I knew.
Got it.
So.
I always just assume that the place is bugged. I don't do it. I can't do Airbnb. I'm too paranoid.
Yeah.
Like I assume there's cameras.
Now,
and
give me a nice
microphones.
commuter hotel. Give me a nice Marriott.
I do
Yeah.
like a Marriott
Love a
residential
Marriott.
suites or whatever they are.
Extended stay American.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
You know, with Residence Inn, you can fax ahead of time your grocery list.
Yes.
And it'll be in your fridge
No
when you
way.
get there. Yeah.
Wow.
You need a fax machine.
That's
They only take it by fax. Fax
we're sorry.
It
Or
makes it
wire.
hard, but they reward it.
Right, yeah.
If you can find the fax machine.
Ricky, I just remembered you did something with Tim Heidecker, right?
Yes.
What was it?
It was the show called Just Beyond. It's for Disney Plus. I don't know when it comes out. They don't tell us that stuff, but we just filmed it in Atlanta. It was really fun.
Nice.
It was a series?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was. We're just in one episode.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he was only there for like a week or something.
Yeah.
How did you? Okay.
Yeah. It was fun though.
Very cool. Yeah. What else do you have coming out? What else should we look out for?
God, I don't even know. Nothing. Well, it's nothing I can say, I guess. I have an animated movie coming out in 2024, so look
Ricky,
out
were
for
you
that.
kidding?
2024.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I was trying to remember. There's some sort of Michelle Gondry like thing that I saw you in.
Oh, that shot from it's so cool.
that was a really cool.
that was
shot.
so yeah. You guys
I love
gotta check
that
out.
show.
Isn't that so neat?
But
Yeah.
that specifically the part you were in that I'm remembering was pretty neat.
We
There were-
rehearsed it for
yeah.
2 days.
Wow.
Yeah, and then
So-
we got it in 3 takes, which was cool.
Yeah. So let's explain that. So your character is kind of like a mess who then like turns her life around.
Yes,
And you see her apartment is all messy.
Right.
And then as she's turning her life around, you see it like get all cleaned and
it
put together.
transformed, but it's like a high degree of difficulty. There's 2 live animals in it. There's like different extras. There's
Right.
It was
Just
wild.
all the walls changed. Everything changed. And then the director had the foresight to have one of those little mini cameras in the ceiling so you could see what was actually going on. Which is
Yeah.
like just a lot of yelling. Like, yeah, it was great. It was really fun.
Very cool.
I need to watch the second season of Kidding.
It got really sad the first season. I think it's hard, and there was like cancer subplot or one of the plots, and so it just. I think for me, it feels like okay. I'm not sure I want to like dive into something so heavy right now. It's like I'm rarely in the mood, but it was good. I liked the show.
Yeah. Excuse me. It sounded like me trying to get everyone's attention. And it really was. I was just clearing my throat. But I did want
Now
to
you
tell.
have to make a wedding toast.
Oh wait, I do have something.
Okay, what is it?
Duncanville. It's every Monday night on Fox. It's an animated show. It's really, really funny, I think.
With
I'm
Betsy
biased.
Sidaro, right?
With Betsy Sidaro. Yep.
Who do you play?
I play the daughter of the family, and Amy Poehler plays the son and the mom. And Betsy Sidaro is one of Amy's friends at high school.
Nice. Yeah. So during this past year, did you record that at home?
Yeah.
How was that?
It was great. Well, I recorded at home just a couple times, and then this recording studio, like there's like a different entrance. They made like, whereas it's just no contact. So I got to do it in a studio, which was also
That's probably the easiest part of the business to do, because it's already sort of secluded, right?
Yes,
in the
you're
recording
isolated
booth.
in a booth alone, and then
Yeah.
they just had like Zoom screens, and people were just giving you direction like through your headphones. So
Were
it's
you?
very nice.
Were the other actors there? Or
No. This is just it's one of the ones where you just record by yourself. So yeah, we but even before COVID, we never did it together. So
You guys, this was so much fun. Thank you
fun.
so
Yeah.
much. I'm so
Thank
glad that
you.
everyone was available. I just had the best time. I want to remind everyone, Patreon. Duh. I forgot this last week, Tony. I gotta say thank you and welcome to my new Patreon people.
Allison wants to say thank you to a couple special people out there who signed up to be new patrons. Patreon.com/Allison Rosen.
welcome Ames, Genesis, and Ron Carlin. And thank you and welcome to Laura Holtzauer, who has upgraded from monthly to annual. And again, 12 months for the price of 10 if you sign up for annual. Okay. And also, I'm an Amazon influencer. You wouldn't know it just from looking at me because I like to play it cool. But yes, I am. So if you go to amazon.com/shop/Allison Rosen, amazon.com/shop/Allison Rosen, I've got all these different collections of products that I use and recommend. So makeup, podcasting gear, Daniel's Corner, kid stuff, home stuff, books, etc. Go there, check that out. And then also, I haven't mentioned in a while, but I have a book out, Tropical Attire Encouraged and Other Phrases That Scare Me. And just a couple nights ago, I wanted to reread my I Hate Fireworks essay that was in there. It's actually called I Hate Fun. But I was flipping around and I was like, this book is good. So I think everyone should go read it if you haven't.
Yeah. And it's got.
I just pat myself on the back so hard.
Good for you.
No,
Thank
that's
you.
good.
Don't let it haunt you.
Okay.
It's over.
Thank you.
Moving
I'm going to move forward. So,
And it's got illustrations by moi.
Oh my God, I
Yeah.
forgot that part. Yeah, Daniel illustrated each story in there.
Allison, that plug, 5 stars.
Thank
5
you.
stars.
Thank you very much. So if you go to AllisonRosen.com, you can click through. Well, you can get it all over, but it's right there on my website. And please follow me on social media at Allison Rosen. And if you like what you're hearing, make sure you're subscribed and leave us a nice 5-star, not 4.8 comment, please. We might read it on the show. Jordan, where might we find you? What should we look for?
Hi. Yes. Thank you. It's great to be here. Having a great time. Yes. I've talked about this on the show before. I will talk about it again because, hey, this is happening soon. I have a graphic novel coming out next week that I co-wrote with a great comedy writer named Sarah Morgan. It is coming out on the 13th of July. It is called Bubble. It is a sci-fi comedy. Yes, so good. Yes, thank you. He was on it. It is a sci-fi comedy. The great comics artist Tony Cliff did the drawing, and the great comics artist Natalie Reese did the colors. And yeah, it's a kind of very goofy, joke-dense, R-rated sci-fi romp with monsters and aliens and robots. And there is a subplot about the characters being tied to a kind of futuristic life or death gig economy where they are concerned about their star ratings.
What?
Love it.
Just undeniable connections to today's show. Yeah, it comes out on the 13th. If you're listening to this before the 13th, I think you could probably still pre-order it. That's great for books. But if it's after the 13th, just head to your local indie bookstore, your local comic book store, or whatever website you prefer, and ask for Bubble. It's I, too, am very proud of it. I have had to read it a bunch of times to like proof it.
It looks great.
Thanks. Yeah, thank you.
5 stars.
Yeah, Tony and Natalie are just like both brilliant geniuses, so it does look very good. And I'm like, hey, this thing's pretty good. I'm excited for people to see it. It's been a long time in the coming.
Yay.
A long time in the coming. A long time in the coming. That's what Sting says.
I was going to say that's what your I forgot the name of it.
Airbnb house says.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a long time in the coming.
If I could have remembered Airbnb, it would have been funnier.
No, I thought it was great.
Thank you.
5 stars.
Thank you.
Excellent. Okay, and we're going to listen to Garfunkel and Oates. We're going to watch Duncanville. Should we follow you on social media? Anything like
I'm on
anything else?
Instagram
Okay,
at Riki Lindhome.
perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
They don't need to know where I am.
All right.
Off the grid. Off the grid
you
quants.
can, if you want, you can follow me,
Quants on the
Daniel
Snappy.
Quants, Twitter, Instagram. I'm kind of a bummer sometimes, and then sometimes I'm not. So who
I feel like
knows?
they should follow.
4.8.
I feel on the generous side, 4.8. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know what to make of this understated push that you're doing because
Because my numbers don't change.
I know, but-
I could try the hard sell. I could try
remember
self-deprecating.
unmute quants.
I tried an unmute quants month where I promoted everybody to stop muting me, and and I feel it did nothing. And so here I am. Whatever. Here I am, just a boy and a audience.
In front
asking
of an
them
audience.
in front of an audience, asking them to unmute me.
All right. And Tony, what about you?
I'm on Twitter and Instagram at
Tony Thaxton.
and my podcast Bizarre Albums every Tuesday, and the Motion City Soundtrack 2022 tickets are on sale now.
Wonderful. Thank you guys so much. Listeners, thank you for listening. I love you. You matter. Goodbye.
Hey, do you know about the Allison Rosen show? We had a good time